Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Yeah.
Our mission today is a bit of a challenge.
A big one.
We're trying to build a rapid-fire memory map of UK history, culture, and governance.
Right.
We're talking about pulling out the essential facts, the key moments from the Stone Age all the way to today.
It's the ultimate shortcut, really. We want to move past the trivia and get to the dates and ideas that actually define the country.
The deep takeaways.
Exactly.
Okay, let's start with power, the foundations. It really begins with the Romans, right? They invade in 43 AD.
It does. And then their departure in 410 AD is just as important. It creates this massive power vacuum.
Which the Anglo-Saxons fill.
Well, they try to, but that vacuum leads to centuries of instability. You have invaders like the Vikings.
The Lindisfarne raid in 793, a famous one.
A very famous one. And it really takes Alfred the Great in 871 to start solidifying some kind of resistance.
And all of that sets the stage for the ultimate game changer.
The Norman Conquest, 1066.
Which brings us into the medieval period. This is where we get, arguably, the bedrock of modern political thought.
The Magna Carta, 1215.
It wasn't just a list of demands, was it?
No, not at all. It introduced this core concept, the rule of law. The idea that even the king couldn't just do whatever he wanted.
But right after that legal progress, you get total social chaos.
Yeah, you have the Black Death hitting in 1348, wiping out, a huge portion of the population.
And then the Wars of the Roses.
From 1455 to 85, just a brutal internal conflict. The state was constantly being tested.
Okay, so jumping forward a bit, we have to acknowledge the four nations that make up the UK today.
England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland.
And when you look at the numbers, the population difference is a really key insight, isn't it?
It's fundamental. The total population is around 67 million.
But England has, what, 56 million of that?
Exactly. So Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland together are about 10.5 million. That demographic gravity shapes everything.
Including the need for those distinct cultural symbols.
The rose for England, the thistle, the daffodil, and the shamrock. It's about maintaining identity.
Right. So let's get to the Stuart period. This is where the shift in power gets really dramatic.
After the Gunpowder Plot in 1605, the conflict just builds and builds.
Leading to the Civil War and the execution of Charles I in 1649. What's the big lesson learned from all that violence?
The lesson was that a monarchy without limits leads to catastrophe.
Which is why the Glorious Revolution of 1688 was so pivotal.
Pivotal and relatively bloodless. It established the constitutional monarchy through the 1689 Bill of Rights. It permanently limited the crown's power.
And made Parliament supreme.
That's the one.
And that modernizing spirit, you see it carry on into social reform.
Absolutely. You get the abolition of slavery in 1833, a huge ethical shift.
Followed by the long, long fight for women's suffrage.
Which was a staged victory. Women over 30 got the vote in 1918, but it wasn't until 1928 that they got it on equal terms with men.
Then, post-war Britain. The big one is the welfare state.
The creation of the NHS in 1948 under Clement Attlee. It's maybe the single most important domestic policy marker of the century.
Right. And when we look at innovation, the UK has been behind some global revolutions.
Oh, consistently. You have Newton and gravity.
James Watt perfecting the steam engine, kicking off the Industrial Revolution.
And then, much more recently, Tim Berners-Lee inventing the World Wide Web. Just foundational breakthroughs.
And for you listening, the most relevant benchmarks are probably the laws that govern daily life.
Right. These are the ones to remember. You can play the lottery at 16, you can drive at 17, and you can vote at 18.
So after this whole journey from Roman forts to the NHS, what does it all mean for the structure of the state today?
Well, the final thought for you to consider is how this long history of negotiating power actually works in modern government.
Okay.
You have the devolution referendums in 1997, which created regional governments.
In Scotland and Wales.
Right. But the central state still relies on this hugely complex parliament. I mean, think about the scale.
650 elected MPs.
Exactly, representing their constituencies in the House of Commons, and they're balancing power against the non-elected, often hereditary House of Lords.
It's a system built on centuries of compromise.
It is. So the question is, how does a democracy built on these deep layered foundations continue?